Hey guys, it's Maymay, and today I thought I would take you along with me as I make Vinnie's Valentine. These are Dreamsicle Slices. They are so delicious. Let's talk about what you'll need to do this. You're going to need some white chocolate. I'm just using Nestle's chips. Some orange slices. You'll need some parchment paper. A double boiler. I'm going to use a pot, and I'm also going to use a glass bowl on top of that. First thing you'll do is put water into your pot, only about halfway, just enough so that it doesn't touch the bottom of your glass bowl because you don't want the heat from the water to boil the chocolate. You just want the steam to melt the chocolate. So a little bit of water. And then your white chocolate chips. Now, I showed one bag in the intro, but I'm actually going to use two because I'm going to double my recipe today because not only does Vince need a Valentine, but my boys are going to want some too. So they are delicious. So this is one bag of Nestle's white chocolate chips. And this is the second. Now, if you don't need to make but about 20, then one will be enough. Notice that I used just the regular size bag for the orange slices. So now I'm just going to bring my water to a boil and turn it down to a simmer and place my glass bowl of the white chocolate chips on top and let them melt slowly. Now it's really important that you do this. You can try it in the microwave, but I never have good luck in the microwave with white chocolate. I've even tried this with almond bark, and almond bark tends to get a little mealy for me. So I just use the white chocolate chips and do it on the stove. Now notice here how clumpy it's gotten. Don't worry, you're going to go through the clumpy stage, but I will tell you this is not for the kids. You do have to kind of get in there and stir this around, and when you're working on the heat like this and having to hold onto the hot bowl, you know, this needs to be an adult function here. Don't let the kids melt the chocolate on the double boiler. So get through the clumpy stage, and then you're going to see a beautiful, smooth chocolate starting to form. Now you can still see there's some chunks here or some chips that need to dissolve or to melt, and they will. Just stir it around till it gets nice and creamy. This recipe actually came about by accident on Christmas one time. I was making white chocolate pretzels and I had some orange slices left over, so I dunked a couple and Vince tasted them and fell in love with them and called them and said they tasted like dreamsicles. So this has become his favorite homemade candy. And listen, it's really kind of semi-homemade, right? So here you go. So now it's good and creamy, so now we can move on to the next step. Now taking the white chocolate, I want to show you here how creamy it is. You can see, once I move my hand out of the way, that the chocolate kind of falls off the spoon, very liquidy, and that's exactly what you're looking for. But don't overheat it, because if you overheat it, it will get very mealy. Now our orange slices, these are so yummy. You're just going to get your parchment paper set out so that once you dunk your orange slices in the white chocolate, they can harden as they sit onto your parchment paper. And I like parchment better than wax. Some people like wax better, but I think parchment paper just really releases them really easy. I'm just placing some things there to keep it down because it was very curly. And now I just take an orange slice, just starting with one, drop it into the chocolate, and then just swirl it around till it's covered. You just want to bring it out and sit it onto your parchment paper for it to harden. They don't have to be perfect. It's kind of cool where you can see the orange through it, because then people who don't really like surprise insides can kind of know, hey, this is orange on the inside of this candy. So if you like orange, you'll like it. Now another interesting thing, which you may be thinking, is how can I put a gel candy into liquid and it not dissolve? Well, because you're putting it into the chocolate and the chocolate hardens fairly quickly, the gel candy doesn't really dissolve at all. It just kind of melds together. You might have seen in the pictures at the beginning how the chocolate just really kind of melds onto the orange, and that's what's really happening here. So it won't melt them. Everything will be fine. Your chocolate doesn't get that hot for you to be able to melt the chocolate, so it works just fine. Now I'm doing one at a time here. To be honest with you, that's really for the video. My favorite thing to do is to take a handful of them, put them into the white chocolate and stir them around, and then just take them out one at a time. And you'll see that I already have this one in here, and I had another one in there as well. So I just grabbed the other one out. But I really do this in about 2 to 3 sections where I take a handful and stir them up, and then a handful and stir them up until I'm through with all of the orange slices. So you don't have to do them one at a time. You can do them, you know, so it goes a little quicker. Now these are so delicious. They are so good. And let me tell you how good they are. I was going to save them for Valentine's Day and give them to Vince, but they're so good when they're perfectly fresh out of the bag, straight into the chocolate. So when he got home, I had to go ahead and give them to him the same day. I made these on Wednesday, and I was like, I cannot wait in case they get a little stale. Now keep them in something that's airtight, because I don't know if you know this about orange slices or jelly candies, but they can kind of get stale and they don't have the same flavor, or they don't have the same softness. So here they are as they dry on the parchment paper, and they're not very pretty like this, but when you see them in a jar, they look so nice. So here's one cut open, and you can see what they look like in a mason jar, and then also in my seal top jar. So that's it, guys. They are delicious. Let me know if you try them and what you think. And this is Vinnie's Valentine's Day Dreamsicles. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.